Hey, what's up everybody? Gabe here, and I'm back after nearly a year with the vlog. Sorry for the delay. I'm going to talk about that. That's going to be the main topic about this video pretty much, but there's a couple of topics, so let me list them out so I don't forget anything. So first, channel update in general. I want to talk about, what's been going on, why there hasn't been a video in like nearly a year, and all that. Second topic is going to be kind of future plans, like what's going to happen after this point with videos and so on. Next thing, I want to give an update about the CRF 450, which I'm not riding right now. It ties into the future plans. And then I'm going to give you an update about the KLR 650. So some of you might have seen the video I made last year about the KLR, where I showed it and what was wrong with it and so on. Well, I've got an update about it. And a little bit of bike news I want to talk about, and I think that kind of rounds it out. So let's start. So I'm on a road that I've been on lots of times before. This is like my third try at filming this video, and I had not nicer, but like more unique locations that I hadn't filmed before in those other videos. But unfortunately, one of them had a bad mic setup, and one of them had the camera pointed poorly. So I'm hoping 3 times lucky here, because the weather is going to be rain for the next like 4 days after tonight, and I don't have super long, so I couldn't go super far from home. So yeah, here we go. Hopefully this is going to be the one. This pickup truck in front of me is going far slower than I normally go along this road, but what are you going to do? Can't have everything. Anyway, going slower makes it easier to talk without screaming, so hey, it's okay. So let's start with the channel update. So obviously, I haven't made a video in a long time. I have made one. I finally, last week, I think, like a week ago, have released my MABDR video after 8 months, 9 months, maybe even 10 months since I finished the MABDR. So I think 9. I think it took like 9 months, and normally babies take 9 months, not YouTube videos, right? So, in truth, I did it. I did part of it. I rewrote the script. I didn't like it. I rewrote it again. I re-recorded voiceover. I changed the structure a lot of times. I spent a long time messing around with graphics. I was perfectionisting it a little bit, and it made it take forever. I'm pretty happy with the overall result, I would say. Okay, this braking is exaggerating a little bit. It's not that twisty, dude. It's going really slowly. Whatever. It's, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect, but I think I did pretty well with what I had, and what I would have needed to make it better would be different kinds of footage that I simply didn't take. So with the footage that I had taken on the trip, I think it did pretty well. Now, if I could have different footage, I think I could do a better product, but that's kind of a lesson learned for the future, and that's no problem. But I'm overall happy. So if you haven't seen my MABDR video, I just released it like I said about a week ago. By the time you see this, it'll be a little more than a week. I'm pretty happy with it. So check it out if you get a chance, if that's something that interests you. So that is the first topic. So what's the second topic? It's the future of the channel. So why haven't I been uploading, and what do I plan on doing? Well, the biggest reason I haven't been uploading anything else, even though it's now August and motorcycle season has been going on for quite a while around here, it's that I have kind of lost interest in like vlog style content for the most part, just because I don't think I have enough to talk about to do regular uploads. Even like trying to upload like every 2 weeks like I was like last year, I just didn't have that many interesting things to talk about, and I would ramble on. I don't know, I don't really like that sort of thing that much. There's not a lot of like cool news stories to follow. I like the video I did about the new XSR 900 when that was announced, and that was like a news story video kind of, but there's not a news story I care about every day, obviously. I have one I want to talk about later in this video, because there actually has been one in the past year that I care about, but by and large for me, like, there's not enough news to really go with that, so it's hard to get that regular content. So I want to focus, for all the struggle I had and all my perfectionism, I enjoyed making that MABDR video, and I want to focus on doing that kind of content. And I don't mind if it takes longer to make the videos. 9 months is excessive, but still, I wouldn't mind, doing a trip or two every year and spending a bit more time on the filming side on the trip than I did, and then you know, being able to produce a cool video. And if that's a couple videos a year, and well, that's that. They're not the only videos I want to do, but I want to focus mainly on that. I still would like to do videos if I get a chance to ride a bike I've never ridden before. I really like doing like a first experience on a bike video. I think that's really fun. You really get like unfiltered, like, oh, I'm sitting on this thing and this is what I'm feeling, kind of. I had fun doing my buddy's Vitpillen last year, or the year before, maybe, I don't remember anymore. I think it was last year, and so on. So if I get more chances to do that, I got a friend with an old Hornet 599 that I would really like to ride, and I keep meaning to ask him, and I never remember. So maybe he'll let me ride that around or something, around the office or whatever, and make a video. That would be fun on a lunch break. So, yeah, I got that I would like to continue doing when the opportunity arises. But making regular vlog content doesn't really interest me. Now, irregular, once in a blue moon, hey, you know, I might make some vlog content because something interesting happened or whatever. That might still happen. So I'm not saying I'm never going to make a vlog again. I mean, here I am making a vlog. But I don't think they're going to be super regular. I don't think I have plans or whatever to make sorry, that dude on the side of the road was relieving himself, and it was distracting. I wasn't expecting to see that here. Yeah, I don't have plans to make regular upload schedule content. I don't think I'm going to have a video every 2 weeks or whatever. I know for YouTube that's how you're supposed to do it, but for this kind of content, living here where half the year I can't even ride, it's just not realistic. And that half the year I can't even ride, it's one of the other major reasons I haven't just put out a lot of content, is because all winter I decided to focus on a new project, and that project has nothing to do with motorcycles or video making or anything, and it's just a totally different thing that I can do, you know, all winter, that I can work on all year. And so, you know, I'd rather spend my efforts in the winter on something like that than just make kind of lame content because I'm stuck inside and all I can do is kind of record voiceovers or whatever. I can't like actually go out and ride or whatever. It's really not that fun to be able to do. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to not be a YouTube channel that produces tons of content and just make occasional stuff, mainly focused on travel and like adventure riding, like BDR style rides and stuff like that. At least that's how I'm thinking about things at the moment. I mean, my mind could always change again later, right? Things happen. You know, people change, ideas change. Maybe next year I come out the gate roaring to do vlogs. I don't know. I just don't think so. So I'm just trying to set realistic expectations. So I think that covers what I wanted to say. I have to open my helmet for a second. Sorry about that. And I think that covers what I wanted to say, though, about what this channel will be in the future. So it'll be travel-focused content, rare uploads, more editing, and occasional other content, maybe including vlogs, but not regular uploads. That's what I'm thinking. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was trip plans, since I'm planning to do trip videos. Well, trip plans. So last year, I did the MABDR. That was my major motorcycle trip. Please watch my video about the MABDR. This year, I plan on riding a ride in Ontario, so much closer to home. The start point is close to Kingston, Ontario, which is only a few hours away from me, unlike the start point of the MABDR, which was days to get to for me. And it's a loop, so it'll end up back there. It looks like 2,800, 2,700 kilometers, so it's a pretty hefty route. It won't all be off-road. There's paved roads, there's gravel, and there's some trail stuff, so it's a mix, you know, BDR style ride. I think it was still designed to be compatible with big ADV bikes and stuff, so on a small dual sport shouldn't be a big deal. And yeah, I plan on doing that around the same period of the year I did last year, so in the fall. I just like that time for traveling. There's less bugs. It's not brutally hot. There's less people traveling. You know, it's good for that. So that's my thinking there. So I plan on doing that this year. Then next year, I plan on doing the Northeast BDR. Originally, I was going to do that in 2023. I was going to do that this year. But I decided to put it off by a year because a friend of mine wants to get into ADV riding and all that, and he wants to do it with me. And that dovetails into the next topic, which is the KLR 650. Now, I made a video about the KLR 650 last year, going over what was wrong with it that I knew about, and why it would cost more to put it back together probably, or than it's worth to sell in running condition. I mean, that's maybe a slight exaggeration. Maybe it would break even, but it would be close. And so, well, my friend wants it. So I said, hey, I will give you the KLR 650 if you pay for everything that it costs to repair it and have it evaluated again so we can transfer the ownership. But I won't take any money from you. You pay for everything and it's your bike. I get rid of it that way. I'm happy. And so he's working on it at my place, slowly but surely. He's rebuilt the carb. I've helped him a little. Today he's put the carb back in. New fuel line stuff happening, and we have a new battery charging now. So in a week or two, depending on our availability next weekend, we might actually be able to start the damn thing for the first time in 6 years now? Probably 6 years since it's been started. So that would be pretty cool if it starts. Obviously it needs a lot more stuff, but we just wanted to do the minimum to get the engine running again, to make sure it would still turn over and everything. And then after that, we're gonna figure out the next step, which is probably the clutch replacement along with the oil. Since the oil needs to come out, we might as well do the clutch as well. Then all the other fluids, the suspension, the forks are the seals need to be redone basically. So yeah, there's a lot left to do. So that, and after 2024, that's the Northeast BDR. After that, I'm really aiming my sights at the West Coast. The Idaho BDR, the Washington especially are really appealing. I'm sure some of the other ones are interesting too. But those northwestern ones, look really good. I really want to aim my sights at them, and that leads me to discussing the CRF 450 RL, which is my dual sport bike. It is the bike I did the MA BDR on. It was the bike I was going to do the Northeast BDR on. However, because it's not a very good long distance bike at all because of its maintenance intervals, if I want to ride out to the West Coast, it's a problem. It will need multiple valve services, never mind oil changes, to go to the West Coast and back. That doesn't include any of the kilometers done on the actual BDRs. So it's just not a great bike for that kind of purpose. And that's not surprising. When I got it, I had envisioned the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern BDRs and riding around Quebec and stuff with it. So it was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But I think that now that I'm setting my sights further, I think it's time for it to go. So I am replacing it with a different dual sport bike. I will be making a video about that very soon, so I don't want to talk too much about all the reasons and all the thinking behind it. I'm going to talk about that in the video, the other video about the new bike. But so I loved my 450 for a lot of reasons, and I liked a lot of things about it, but it is sold, and I will replace it with a different dual sport. It is not a DRZ. It almost was a DRZ again. I do like DRZs, but I thought, no, not quite what I was looking for. So I'll get into that in the next video. But basically, my experience on the MA BDR definitely changed my mind about how I'd previously thought about dual sport bikes. And so now I have a different perspective on things, and I'm going to talk about that. So that's the trip plans. So this year, an Ontario ride on my new dual sport. Next year, the Northeast BDR on my new dual sport, and hopefully my buddy on the KLR 650. And then the year after that, we will be aiming our sights at the West Coast on a much longer trip because it will take a while to get there and back. I have considered buying a junky old pickup truck and putting a bike, even the 450 could have went in the back of a pickup truck and it could have rode like that. But fundamentally, I decided not to do that because I thought at the end of the day, I'd rather ride. In the future, I might change my mind if I want to do multiple years of going out to the West Coast. I might get tired of riding out there and I maybe decide to do the pickup truck route, but we'll see at that point. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now we're talking about like 2026 and stuff like that, so that's far away. Who knows what will happen between now and then. So that's that topic. The last topic maybe to cover is bike news that I found interesting. The only story I found really interesting is the Kawasaki ZX4RR, the not the Ninja 400, the fast 400cc bike with the inline 4 and the ZX10R suspension and all that, right? So that bike I find just so cool. And it came out, and I didn't think anybody would make anything like that. And yeah, it's got a compromise or two. Like the engine only revs to 11.5 out the showroom floor because they couldn't pass emissions or noise emissions or whatever. It's too bad, but you could fix it with an ECU tune and put it back to the proper 15,000 it's supposed to go. And it's just amazing. I just really like that bike. If I had the money, I would buy one. I would buy one right now. I would scour the province looking for one and buy it. Unfortunately, I do not have the money, and I don't want to sell this bike because I don't think that bike is a good substitute for this one. This one is more upright, more versatile, more comfortable, and I think I would enjoy riding it more. Like, we all know the Tesla driver is just going to go, so I would just let him instead of trying to argue. Around here, they tend to be pretty aggressive a lot of the time. So, sorry, the ZX4, I like it, but it's not a good full-time street bike to replace this one. I would like to have it as a third bike, basically. But to do that, I need to save my change. I don't have that kind of liquid cash. I don't want to buy it on payments. I want to just buy it. So, it's going to wait. Maybe in a year or two I'll be able to get one, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I really like that bike, and I would really like to have one. In Quebec, it's extra special, and it will hold its value extra well because here, 600cc and 1000cc super sport bikes are registered as high-risk motorcycles, and because our insurance is no fault and all done through the public system, when it comes to the health side of your insurance, the bodily damage side, to you or others, it's all no fault and it's all covered by the government, but that means you pay into it with your registration, not your private insurance payment, which those are cheap because those only cover property here, not health. And because of that, high-risk motorcycles cost $2,000 a year to register. So again, that's like super sports and super bikes. Normal motorcycles, which is anything over 400cc that's not considered high risk, such as this XSR, cost like 600 something, maybe close to 700. And then bikes under 400cc cost like $400. That Kawasaki is basically a super sport that costs $400 a year to register instead of $2,000. So it would be a way to basically own a super sport and still have other bikes, because that $2,000 is so expensive that it made it prohibitive to own when I used to have the CBR 600RR and own a different bike at the same time, and you can't really do everything that you might want to do on a 600RR. So yeah, in Quebec, those bikes are going to hold their value incredibly well. They're going to be annoying to buy used, but I would like to get one. I'm hoping Kawasaki will make them new for a few years, so they'll be like on market for it, but I don't think they'll make it for super long because unfortunately it is going to be an obvious target for emissions and all that stuff. So that kind of sucks, but hey, here's to hoping I can get one in the next couple of years because, yeah, I really like it. So that's the news story that I care about. There hasn't been much else, really. At least that's piqued my interest, not recently. So, yeah, I think that's what I wanted to talk about for this video. So, in summary, channel update is, yeah, I know I made less videos. I will be making less videos. I'll be focused on travel style content for longer, more edited videos. I do want to have some impromptu vlog segments, something that my MABDR video was missing, but I want to superimpose that with a bunch of footage and all that. So more of that. There won't be a lot of regular uploads or vlog content anymore because I just don't find it's that interesting, especially when there's a 5 or 6 month gap in it every year because of the winter. Other news is trip plans for this year are an Ontario trip, and then next year is going to be the Northeast BDR, and that dovetails into the KLR 650. We're repairing it. Hopefully it'll work again, and if it does, we're going to bring it on the Northeast BDR next year. And then finally, I think the ZX4RR is a super cool bike, and I really wish I had the money to buy one, so hopefully I will in a couple of years because I really want to get one before it is too late. And that's it. That is all the content I have for you. So thanks very much for watching, and again, if you haven't seen my MABDR trip, please check it out. It's the video before this one on the channel. And yeah, thanks for watching all the way to the end if you did that. So I wish you have a nice evening, because it's evening for me, or day, or whatever. Peace.